Beneath the stones of Egypt's Great Pyramid of Giza, a long-lost secret has emerged from the darkness. In a narrow chamber unseen for millennia, archaeologists discovered a fragment of cedar wood, a relic that could rewrite history. It's a tantalizing clue from deep inside, challenging our understanding of when this ancient wonder was built.
For over 4,500 years, the Great Pyramid has stood as a timeless sentinel on the Giza Plateau. It is the largest of Egypt's pyramids, built around 2560 BC as Pharaoh Khufu's tomb. This colossal structure was a masterpiece of ancient engineering and labour. Until now, scholars confidently dated it to about 4,500 years old. But this new discovery hints at a deeper past hidden within its stones. In 1872, while exploring a narrow shaft off the Queen's Chamber, British engineer Dixon discovered 3 odd objects. By lantern light, he extracted a round black stone ball, a small bronze hook, and a cedar wood fragment. These were the only artifacts ever found inside the Great Pyramid's passageways. 2 of the items, the ball and hook, went to the British Museum, but the wooden fragment mysteriously vanished, its whereabouts unknown for decades. Nearly 150 years later, in 2020, a curator at the University of Aberdeen stumbled upon a dusty cigar tin in the museum's storeroom. Inside were splintered pieces of ancient cedar, the missing Dixon relic. Laboratory analysis confirmed its identity and revealed something astonishing. Radiocarbon dating showed the wood dates to roughly 3,340 to 3,090 BC. In other words, this little piece of the pyramid's interior is over 5 millennia old, centuries older than Khufu's reign. To archaeologists, this find was a revelation. How could a piece of the pyramid predate the pyramid itself? One possibility is that the cedar was already centuries old when used, perhaps from a long-lived tree or salvaged from an older structure. Timber was scarce in ancient Egypt, so builders often reused materials. Crucially, the fragment's age suggests it was left by the original builders during construction, not by later visitors. This implies it belonged to Khufu's workforce, raising the possibility that the pyramid's construction began earlier than traditionally believed. The Great Pyramid continues to yield secrets. In recent years, high-tech scans have peered inside its stone core without moving a block. In 2017, cosmic ray imaging revealed a mysterious void over 30 meters long, hidden high within the structure. And in 2023, researchers announced a hidden corridor about 9 meters long behind the pyramid's north face, near the entrance. These secret spaces suggest that even the best-known monument on Earth still holds surprises. Each discovery raises new questions about the pyramid's design and purpose, and perhaps its age. Interestingly, the Dixon relic isn't the first hint that the pyramids might be older than believed. In the 1980s, archaeologists tested organic samples from Giza's pyramids and got radiocarbon dates a few centuries earlier than expected. This raised eyebrows. Could the pyramids have been built 300 or 400 years before the traditional dates? But scientists pinned the discrepancy on the old wood effect. The dated charcoal or wood may have already been very old when the pyramid was built. A second study in 1995 likewise found some dates about 100-200 years older than Khufu's time, reinforcing that recycled materials were the cause. To Egyptologists, these puzzles don't overturn the timeline, but they do remind us that dating ancient monuments can be fraught with uncertainties. These scientific oddities, combined with the pyramid's mystique, have given rise to more radical theories. A number of writers suggest that the pyramids are far older than the pharaohs, perhaps relics of a lost civilization. Some even point to the end of the Ice Age, around 10,500 BC, as the true origin of the Giza complex. It's a thrilling idea that would push the origins of Egyptian monuments back by millennia. On the Giza plateau, one colossal clue fueling such speculation is the Great Sphinx. In the 1990s, geologist Robert Schoch argued that the Sphinx's severely eroded limestone shows signs of heavy rainfall, not just desert winds. Egypt's climate has been mostly dry since pharaonic times, so Schoch concluded the Sphinx must originally have been carved in a wetter era, perhaps 7,000 or more years ago, long before the pharaohs. If true, that would mean advanced builders were at Giza well before recorded history, lending weight to the idea that the pyramids, too, could be far older than mainstream scholars think. The saga of the Dixon Relic, from its entombment to its modern rediscovery, reminds us that history is an ongoing investigation. Was the pyramid built earlier than we thought, or did Khufu's builders simply incorporate relics from an earlier time? The truth remains elusive, but each new clue, a fragment of wood, a hidden corridor, a cosmic scan, brings us closer to the answer. Standing silent through the ages, the Great Pyramid continues to inspire awe and curiosity. As scientists and explorers probe further into its ancient heart, who knows what revelations await in its next shadowy chamber? But the story doesn't end with a single relic. Just when archaeologists thought they had uncovered the pyramid's oldest secret, scientists turned their attention to something even stranger: an unopened door hidden at the very top of the structure. What they found behind it could change everything we thought we knew about Egypt's ancient past.
The Great Pyramid, mostly that's the one that's been studied. We actually haven't done a whole lot of studying on the other pyramids. It's something that's severely lacking. In fact, we've not even cleared off the bases of some of the other pyramids up at Giza. It's crazy.
So you can understand why people start to question the historical narrative.
The reality of them is probably stranger and more interesting than anything people can think up in terms of fiction.
For centuries, we've believed that the ancient Egyptians were the masterminds behind this architectural marvel. But what if they weren't? What if instead, they simply moved into these colossal structures? Join us as we explore groundbreaking theories, unravel new discoveries, and challenge everything we thought we knew about one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world.
I'm willing to accept that the Great Pyramid was largely completed by the ancient Egyptians.
The Great Pyramid of Giza, built during the 4th dynasty of Egypt for Pharaoh Khufu around 2580 to 2560 BC, has long captured the imagination of people worldwide. The discovery of its entrance and the subsequent exploration of its interior chambers have significantly deepened our understanding of ancient Egyptian architecture and burial practices. For centuries, the entrance to this monumental structure was a mystery. Originally, the pyramid was encased in smooth Tura limestone, which concealed any openings. By the time explorers began their quest, most of this casing had been stripped away, revealing the underlying structure.
The Great Pyramid was sealed. It was a sealed monument.
The first recorded discovery of the entrance dates back to 820 AD when the Caliph al-Mamun ordered an expedition to uncover the pyramid's secrets.
The Caliph al-Mamun, who was running Egypt at the time, wanted to get inside the Great Pyramid.
His workers supposedly found the hidden entrance after hearing a stone fall within the pyramid. They located the entrance about 17 meters above the ground on the northern face, slightly to the east of the central axis. This discovery led them to a descending passageway. From the entrance, the descending passageway measures about 1.2 meters high and 3.5 wide, sloping downwards at an angle of approximately 26 degrees.
Is there not a hidden chamber as well?
In fact, there is a whole underworld at Giza. This is beginning to be recognized.
This passage extends for about 105 meters into the pyramid, eventually reaching the subterranean chamber, also known as the pit. This chamber lies beneath the pyramid, carved into the bedrock, and is unfinished, roughly hewn, and not fully smoothed out like other parts of the pyramid. Measuring approximately 27 by 14 meters and about 8.6 meters high at its highest point, the chamber's purpose remains unclear.
We actually don't know what these chambers were for. No burial of any pharaoh was ever found inside the Great Pyramid.
Some theories suggest it was an early attempt at a burial chamber or simply an unfinished part of the construction. Halfway along the descending passageway, an ascending passageway branches off upwards. Similar in dimensions to the descending passageway, it extends for about 39 meters before reaching the Grand Gallery. The entrance to the ascending passageway was originally concealed by a stone block, adding an extra level of security. The Grand Gallery is one of the pyramid's most impressive features. It is a steeply inclined corridor, measuring about 46.6 meters in length, 8.6 meters in height, and 2.1 meters in width at the base, narrowing slightly towards the top. The walls of the Grand Gallery are lined with precisely cut stones, and the ceiling consists of corbelled stone blocks, creating a vaulted appearance. The floor has a series of slots, possibly for the placement of beams or to aid in the transportation of heavy objects. Approximately halfway along the Grand Gallery, a horizontal passageway leads to the so-called Queen's Chamber. This chamber is smaller than the King's Chamber, measuring about 5 3/4 meters by 5 1/4 meters, with a height of 6 1/4 meters. The walls are smooth and the ceiling is pointed, forming a gabled roof. The exact purpose of the Queen's Chamber is still debated. It might have been intended as a secondary burial chamber or a symbolic chamber for the pharaoh's spirit. Continuing up the Grand Gallery, a horizontal passage leads to the King's Chamber, the most important room in the pyramid. The King's Chamber is rectangular, measuring about 1.5 by 5.2 meters, and has a flat roof composed of massive granite beams. The chamber's walls are also lined with granite, and the floor consists of large granite blocks. Inside the King's Chamber is a large granite sarcophagus, believed to have held Khufu's body. The sarcophagus is too large to have been brought in through the existing passages, indicating it was placed during the construction of the pyramid. Above the King's Chamber are 5 relieving chambers, designed to distribute the weight of the pyramid and prevent the roof of the King's Chamber from collapsing. These chambers are separated by large horizontal slabs of granite, each layer relieving some of the weight above. In recent times, advanced technologies like ground-penetrating radar and Moon tomography have been employed to explore the pyramid further. These methods have led to the discovery of previously unknown voids and chambers, such as the Scan Pyramid's Big Void, a large empty space above the Grand Gallery discovered in 2017. The purpose of this void remains a mystery and continues to be a topic of ongoing research and speculation. The area surrounding the Great Pyramid of Giza, also known as Khufu's Pyramid, has been a treasure trove of archaeological discoveries.
I think there's a lot more remains to be discovered under the Giza Plateau.
Yeah.
These finds offer remarkable insights into ancient Egyptian civilization, their burial practices, religious beliefs, and daily life. One of the most intriguing discoveries is the solar boat pits. Unearthed in 1954 by Egyptian archaeologist Kamal El-Malakh, these pits contain 2 intact boats buried near the Great Pyramid, positioned on the southern side. Known as solar barks, these boats were believed to serve a dual purpose. They were intended for Khufu's journey with the sun god Ra across the sky during the day and through the underworld at night. Another theory suggests they might have been used in the funerary procession of the pharaoh. The boats are made of Lebanese cedar wood, meticulously assembled without nails. The larger boat measures about 43.6 meters in length and features a sophisticated design with a cabin, oars, and rope bindings, using a technique known as mortise and tenon. The first boat was painstakingly reconstructed over 14 years by Egyptian conservator Ahmed Youssef Mustafa and is now displayed in the Khufu Boat Museum beside the Great Pyramid. The second boat remains in situ, awaiting advanced preservation techniques. In the early 1990s, Egyptian archaeologist Zahi Hawass and his team made a groundbreaking discovery southeast of the Great Pyramid, the tombs of the workers who built the pyramids. The tombs provided evidence that the builders were paid laborers who worked in 3-month rotating shifts, reflecting the societal structure and economy of the Old Kingdom. The tombs contained skeletal remains showing signs of healed injuries, indicating that workers had access to medical care. Pottery shards, tools, and remnants of food supplies such as bread and beer were also found, shedding light on their diet and daily life. The presence of beef and fish bones suggests that the workers received good nutrition. The tombs were simple, yet carefully constructed from mud brick and limestone, indicating a level of respect for the workers. Some tombs had hieroglyphic inscriptions and modest grave goods, signifying the workers' social status and the reverence afforded to them. Another significant discovery was made in 1925 by American archaeologist George Reisner when he uncovered the mastaba of Queen Hetepheres I, the mother of Khufu, in the Giza necropolis. Located to the northeast of the Great Pyramid, the tomb was initially hidden under debris. The tomb contained a large cache of funerary equipment, including a golden throne, a gilded bed with a canopy, chairs, a palanquin, and various personal items such as jewelry and cosmetic boxes. The craftsmanship of these items highlights the luxurious lifestyle of the royal family and the high level of artisanship of the period. Interestingly, Hetepheres' body was never found, leading to theories that her mummy might have been relocated or never placed in the tomb. Some suggest the burial equipment might have been prepared in anticipation of her death, but used for another purpose. The remains of Khufu's pyramid temple have been uncovered through various excavations conducted over the years, with significant contributions from archaeologists such as Mark Lehner and Zahi Hawass. The pyramid temple was a site for offerings and rituals to honor the deceased pharaoh Khufu. It played a central role in the funerary cult, where daily rituals and ceremonies ensured the pharaoh's immortality. The temple's remains include large limestone blocks, column bases, and fragments of statues and altars. The temple layout typically featured a courtyard, a hypostyle hall, and sanctuaries. The temple was connected to the pyramid by a causeway, which was used for processional purposes. Various small artifacts, including inscribed blocks, offering tables, and fragments of statues have been found. These artifacts shed light on the religious practices of the time, the artistic styles, and the materials used. Notably, fragments of a life-size statue of Khufu have been uncovered, providing insights into the pharaoh's appearance and royal iconography. The tomb of Khentkaus III, discovered by archaeologists in the early 20th century, is also referred to as the Fourth Pyramid due to its unique design. Located to the southeast of the Great Pyramid within the Giza necropolis, the tomb features a unique design that combines elements of both a pyramid and a mastaba. It includes a stepped pyramid base with a superstructure that might have been intended as a pyramid but was left unfinished.